what are you doing to get to your peak fitness?
Oh man. Well, I can tell you right now, and this is for everybody when it comes to fitness, your diet is 70 to 80% of the battle. You have to eat the right food. You have to eat the right quantities. Your calories and your macros have to be on point. Um, you're not going to outwork a bad diet. Now, the teenagers might be able to do it for a little bit because their metabolisms are so damn high and they got energy out the wagyu. But, at some point, you have to pull back on those cheeseburgers and those hot dogs and stuff like that and eat real food like chicken and fish and lean beef. My diet's part of it. Drink a gallon of water a day. I do have supplements. If your son ever wants help taking supplements, I can help him in that area. Absolutely. Um, and train. I train. I work out twice a day on top of practicing my sport. I'll go to the gym in the morning, work out for a couple hours, and come home and you know, work on my book a little bit and eat some good food. And about midday, a little bit in the afternoon, I'm back at the gym doing some cardio, getting some cardio in, and then practicing my sport, practicing shot put in the afternoons. So I stay pretty busy, man. I keep on my fitness pretty well. My wife will be able to tell anybody when it comes to it. I'm pretty dead serious. Um, I get in there and I lift, and I lift with a damn purpose. I'm not going in there just to shake my body to look like a bodybuilder. I'm going in there to be able to throw an 8 pound ball down range.
Hmm. I don't need to work out. I'm naturally jacked. But I like to, I like to support my son, so I'm out there with him. Plus, I do my prime rib smoothie each morning. Um, None of that's true. Uh, but
Hey, there's nothing wrong with taking a prime rib and sticking it in the blender and get it up, man. Throw some milk in there and some seasoning, scoop of protein, couple scoops of creatine. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, yeah, so ripped right now from just I can do it with my mind. Actually, just make my muscles bigger. If you're listening to this on audio, go over to the YouTube, subscribe. Of course, hit the like button, and you can see for yourself. Uh, Anyways, uh, I'm glad. And for let's say for the beginner, right? What are some of the like the core strength building, muscle building, maybe exercises, or what are some of the base um, workouts that you would do just to get started?
Well, I mean, your workouts are pretty basic. Um, there's really not any secret workout or anything like that. If we're talking to beginners,
Hmm.
the first and foremost thing that a beginner needs to do is get their calories and their macro count done. They need to know what their goal is if they're trying to bulk up or if they're trying to lose weight. They need to get their calorie count done and they need to get their macros done so that way they know how to work their diet. That's going to be first and foremost.
Well, I was going to say, tell me how you track your macros. How do you know what like, how many macros you would need versus how many macros I would need? Is it do you need a dietitian, a coach, or is it just
Not really. I mean, I learned my stuff through ISSA. I went through ISSA to get my personal training stuff. Um, so macros are pretty easy to judge. We'll just say protein, for example. That's the easiest one. Everybody knows what protein is. If you're 250 pounds and you're wanting to be 275 pounds, you should be eating 275 grams of protein a day. You should be eating a gram of protein per body weight every day.
hmm
Now, that means if you want to stay at 250 pounds, then you eat 250 grams of protein a day. If If you want to be 275, you eat 275. You know, if you're trying to be 225, you only eat 225 grams of protein a day. Now, your calorie count, there is a formula to use with that. It involves your age, your height, body fat percentage, you know, how active you are. There's multiple different variables that goes into it. That's, you know, for us personal trainers, we actually have a formula to go off of. So, you know, I'll take people's information down and I'll actually have to go study because it takes some time to sit there and put everything together and then go look at certain foods and the amount that you should be eating and stuff like that to get to that point. So it's not hard, but it's easier if somebody already knows how to do it to let them do it rather than guess on what you're doing. I know there's a lot of macro calculators out there on the internet, but they're so far from the actual truth. You know, it's like, oh, I pulled it up off of bodybuilding.com. I'm like, yeah, you're probably off by a few hundred calories, you know, or your protein, you know, protein's pretty easy. You can read that anywhere. Um, you know, but you got to take it into effect. If you're a type 2 diabetic, then you have to watch your carbs because carbs can turn into sugars. I mean, there's so many different variables, man. It just depends on what you're wanting to do and then talking to a professional.